Here's the situation. And when it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over.
Whoa, there you go, folks, saying the quiet part out loud. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Today's episode, we have the President of the United States saying the quiet part out loud regarding gas prices and oil. Now, before we jump into this clip, as always, if you want to support us here at the Bald Brad Show, or heck, support a conservative, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family all over social media. With that being said, let's jump into the clip.
I wanted to ask you about the economy. During your trip here to Asia, you've promoted the investments by Samsung and Hyundai. But back home in the United States, Americans are dealing with record high inflation. The Fed has raised interest rates to try to address those issues. And they're also just enormously high gas prices. Given the cross currents of the economy right now, the war in Ukraine, the China lockdowns that we've seen, should Americans be prepared for a recession? In your view, is a recession in the United States inevitable?
No.
Why not?
Look, you're talking about the significant progress we've made in making sure we don't have supply chain backups, about the 8,000 jobs that Hyundai is going to be bringing to Georgia, 3,000 jobs to Texas from Samsung, $17 billion investment, Toyota, 1,700 jobs in North Carolina on battery technology, the situation where we've created over 8 million new jobs, where unemployment's down to 3.6% and so on and so forth, as if they're a problem. Imagine where we'd be with Putin's tax and the war in Ukraine.
There you go again. The narrative continues that it's the Putin price hike, that he's going to blame Putin for all this stuff. And here he goes again. And what's funny is this is the leader of the free world that's just reading off a note card, and his press secretary does the exact same thing. It's just funny how it just trickles down to his staff.
Had we not made that enormous progress, where our GDP is going to grow faster than China's for the first time in 40 years. Now, does that mean we don't have problems? We do. We have problems that the rest of the world has, but less consequential than the rest of the world has them because of our internal growth and strength. Here's the situation. And when it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over.
Whoa, there you go, folks, saying the quiet part out loud. God willing that we remove from fossil fuels. That is not a statement that you want to make, especially with what is going on how you have handled everything in terms of energy. And it just shows and proves this is all part of his plan and the Democrats' plan. And it's been their plan for quite some time to remove from fossil fuels, which is why we showed that graph that Ted Cruz showed of his strategic plan since like the second day he was in office of removing certain policies, not renewing leases, shutting down the Keystone Pipeline, doing all sorts of things that have now led to gas prices increasing, which is funny because we saw an upward trajectory of gas prices increasing before Vladimir Putin ever invaded Ukraine. And now they're going to blame it on the guy when this stuff was taking place prior because of exactly what he just said. They want to remove fossil fuels from the industry altogether and make it battery powered, solar and wind. If you're talking about other technologies, not necessarily in terms of the automobile industry, but this is what they want. And now we're seeing the quiet part out loud.
You see what Europe is doing relative to the importation of Russian gas. You see what, anyway, I won't go through it all, but and what I've been able to do to keep it from getting even worse, and it's bad. The price of gas at the pump is something that I told you, heard me say before, would be a matter of great discussion at my kitchen table when I was a kid growing up. It's affecting a lot of families. But we have released over 200, and I think 57,000 million barrels of oil, I should say, us and the rest of the world we're convinced to get involved.
Wow. And that's just done so much because gas continues to increase. AAA just came out and said they expect gas prices to be somewhere around $6 in terms of hitting August or something like that. So no, they're doing yeoman's work over there in the White House because they reached into the oil reserves. And, that's clearly done a huge effect on our gas prices here in America.
It's helped, but it's not been enough. We also find ourselves in a situation where we have food shortages. Food shortages because of Ukraine. There are literally millions of bushels of of grain being held up.
This guy is just all over the place, and you feel bad for him. I mean, he's a human being, folks. I get it. He's of the Democrat Party. We don't like his policies. We don't like the things that he's done. He's still a human being. The guy is just suffering here with dementia or something. And I'm laughing because it's embarrassing that this is the person that's representing the United States of America. He's supposedly the most popular president in history with 70 plus million votes. But that just shows you where we're at as a society here, is that we want people to vote for somebody like this and put somebody like this in office that has record inflation, record gas prices, has Russia invading Ukraine, had the Afghanistan debacle, literally blew up a family in another country that just went under the radar in terms of the media coverage. You have the border crisis that's taking place. You have massive amount of people dying from fentanyl. You have record numbers in terms of people dying from opioids. Like, this guy has nothing under control here, and you have 70 million people voting for this guy because it couldn't handle a few tweets that Donald Trump put out. It's frustrating, but there you have it, folks. He is saying the quiet part out loud. And it's so funny that they're pushing this whole thing of like solar energy, which has been explained numerous amounts of time, that you're not going to be able to have a working economy just under solar and wind. Furthermore, he keeps pushing this electric vehicle idea. I'm not against electric vehicles. I like it. I don't think the technology is fully there yet for me to purchase one. But with the median household income of roughly $70,000 here in America, and you have electric vehicles that are ranging from anywhere of $30,000 to $65,000 plus, and he's just expecting people just to go out and buy one now when they could barely afford food and gas, speaking of kitchen table. And he's just saying, well, we're going to move away from that. People should just go out and buy electric vehicles. That's the easier thing to do. And furthermore, you have the Democrats saying the exact same thing. And I think they're saying a lot more clear now, like, hey, just go purchase a vehicle. Like, that makes sense. This is wild, folks. This is the stuff they're pushing. But with that being said, I wanted to show you the clip here because the president is saying the quiet things out loud. Not only in terms of energy, but also in terms of protecting Taiwan. And then he'll backtrack it from his staff in the White House. This guy's all over the place. We still got 2 years of this stuff, folks. So hang on to the edge of your seat because we probably are going to go into a recession here. There's probably going to be a lot more crazy things taking place within the next 2 years. So buckle up, folks. Now, as always, to know the latest on what's going on with our president, what's going on with our country, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, Mexico debacle, increase in tax rates, trying to figure out inflation, the recession stuff, you got to make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you're up to date on everything that's going on. A lot of times I post videos and articles before the news outlets do, like the Daily Wire, like Steven Crowder's. I usually get this stuff out before they do, so be sure to subscribe to the Bald Brad Show here. And folks, I will see you later here on the Bald Brad Show.